Alright, so now we got the chicken, we got the lamb chops, and now what we have here.
So this right here is another one of my favorite ones in my house, right? This is the French bone-in pork chops, right? And the reason why you go with that bone-in is you get that flavor from the bone, and then it's just I'm assuming, I don't really know for sure, but it feels like it's more of a tender cut. You know, a lot of times with your boneless pork chops, I just found them to be a little rougher. This guy almost feels like you're cutting into a steak in a certain way. Like that's the quality that I get from it. Again, not a trained chef, so I don't know if there's truth to it, but when I use it, that's kind of the feeling that I get. We don't like the boneless pork chops that you typically get. You know, I prefer the bone-in by far.
It looks sexy. I mean, it kind of look like fat lamb chops, but. So what you gonna do with them?
So same thing, man. Very simple. You're gonna go ahead and activate the herbs with the olive oil, bathe it down real nicely, and then we're gonna add in the 2400 herb rub, coat it real nicely. And then this one, what we're gonna do a little bit differently is after we get it all coated, we're gonna get our pan going. And we're gonna go ahead and saute these bad boys.
If this stuff comes out perfect, just with oil and rub, man, guys gonna be mad at you, man, because you're gonna have them all cooking dinner now.
And it is easy.
Alright, easy.
Alright.
Easy.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's get busy. Alright, so nice and simple. Go ahead and that olive oil.
So out of these meats that you're cooking, what's your favorite one that you would say that turns out perfect every time?
Every time, the chicken takes a while, so it definitely is the one that, like, you know, for me, having a family and all that, and sometimes you can sit down and watch a game or start watching TV and you forget you got your chicken in. So that one, at times I get caught a little bit on. Might cook it a little too long, you know, forget to add a little oil in the process while I was cooking, stuff like that. But honestly, the saute one is probably the easiest to control because you can go ahead and cook this. Like this might take 10 minutes to cook, and you're standing over it the whole time, you know, sauteing it in the pan, making sure it's coming through, all of that type stuff, versus putting it in the oven and walking away. So easiest is the oven, more control is doing the saute same way. It's a little bit more control. So the pork chop, get a little more control. Timing and when it's done and all of that, right? It's a smaller piece of meat.
So which one is the family most
likes the most?
Likes the most.
The rack. Family likes the rack. Of course it'd be,
the most expensive.
Exactly.
The one you gotta buy like 5 of them for like $100.
Exactly. So it's the one that we don't get that often. That's the one that the family likes the most. So yeah, exactly.
So with the rack, what do you usually cook with it?
So, you know what? The rack is versatile, man. Sometimes, you know, like, hey, it's New Year's where everybody doing New Year, new meat. So it's good just a salad. Throw that rack together, you know, some French green beans, and maybe a little salad on the side. You know what I mean? If you really want to get down, and typically the way that we do, you know, we might do some baked mac and cheese and all that type stuff.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah, some heavy hitters.
We doing meat.
You know, all of that. You know, but, you know, it goes good with, you know, some rice, different things like that. So it's really, all of it is really good. The great thing about the herb spices is it really plays well with just about everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes if you're making something that's Cajun, like doing Cajun and mac and cheese, you do like a Cajun seasoning with some rice, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. With the herb seasoning, you really get to kind of go wherever you want to go with it when it comes to the sides that goes along with it. So that's the cool thing about doing, you know, working with a herb seasoning is you can go Thanksgiving, you can go simple salad, you know what I mean?
Fish and chips?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can fry some chickens, use this with the seasoning, and do some French fries on the side. You can take the herb seasoning and sprinkle it on your French fries.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Using the seasoning on the chicken, the lamb, the pork, and the fish, do they all have the same flavor, or do how does the flavor and
Yeah, so it's a great question. So, you know, for me, as far as like when I'm, you know, my taste and having used this seasoning on everything, it all comes off different, right? And especially like the fish, to me, because you're doing that, you're almost doing like a blackening style when I cook it with the fish. You can put it in the oven too, but I like to do a nice sear and a blackening style. And depending on, like, that's basically, I'm frying the herbs, you know, with olive oil or butter. And that gives it a completely different taste, different flavor to it. And it's one of my favorite ways to use it as well. That's one of the ways that I like to use it. And the same thing with these, because we're frying it and the herbs are getting fried up in the pan. It's also, we gotta be careful because you don't want to fry the herbs off. You know what I mean? So those techniques is important to marinate the night before. Extremely important to marinate the night before.
so they all have their own profile?
They all have their own profile. The chicken, the herbs, they don't really burn on the chicken. They get in there and they pretty much just like the flavor is just different on the white meat. It really shows through, you know, more on that chicken than anything. It tastes like with a turkey. You know, it kind of takes you right to Thanksgiving when you eat with the chicken.
Oh man.
Where the salmon and the lambs and all that, it don't really take you to Thanksgiving with that salmon. It really just gives it a nice, the salmon a nice herb profile, but not like you don't really get the celery salt as much with the salmon. The turkey or the chicken, that celery salt comes out and it comes through and it really reminds you of Thanksgiving. You know, so yeah, it really just comes down. I think it's more the cooking styles because I'm sauteing it versus baking. So I'm sure with the heat and the oil being fried up, it's definitely giving things different flavors. Right?
Because the oils are
Yes.
seasons.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. So if you're ready, let's get started, man. We all set.
So what would you have to? What's the next process for us? How long and
Easy. So you probably gonna go
Temperature.
about So temperature on these guys again. Pork as well, medium guy. So a nice little 145 or so. You know, I'm trying to get these to. You go too far over that, you're gonna have rough pork tenderloins. Pork chops here. I like to keep it around that 140, 145 range. But that medium temp. You know, you can cook it higher. Some people, you know, cook that thing 160 to be that all the time. Don't be afraid. You know, 145 is, you know, it's not any blood or anything like that. I know there's a lot of people that's gonna be afraid of that, but it's really gonna make it tender when you can cut that thing with a butter knife versus having it straight, right?
with a steak knife?
Yes.
Now you mentioned temperatures. Did you just see it by sight?
So I recommend, that's a great question, Cole. I recommend that everybody just go get a thermometer. You get them. I forgot to bring mine, and I ran to Target and just grabbed one in a pinch. Like you can go just about Target, Walmart, all of these guys have thermometers. It's good to have one because when you cooking meat, it's all about temperature. Like the herb, get it. You need this herb in your life. But this herb ain't gonna do the trick if you over and undercooking it. So
what's that then? Digital?
Yeah, it's a digital thermometer. I don't even know the brand. There's a ton of them. But it's a digital thermometer, and we're gonna show you how to use it as well. But you just go ahead and, you know, probe the meat and get that read. If you wanna get it, you wanna make sure you're not hitting any bones or anything like that, because it'll change the temperature of the meat. But you definitely wanna get you a thermometer. You're gonna be out here cooking up meats, get a thermometer and stop burning everything.
Or serving it
Yeah,
raw?
or serving it raw. Exactly. Get it right. Temperature is the most important part.
Man, I can't wait to see this stuff come out this oven, man.
So